Shalom. I want to start giving all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, double honors to the apostles, and salutation to all you brothers pushing this word with sincerity and truth. Brother Shema, behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I want to give a quick edification on connecting the links of temptation and tribulations, and then give 3 scriptures on that. All right, temptation. In the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, the positive significance of temptation is that of testing with the intent of creating spiritual good. Okay, it is a proving with a view to approving or improving and occasionally reproving. And you can find that in 578 in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Okay, and I wanted to link that up with temptation and tribulation. Now let's go to the word in tribulation in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and it reads: the Great Tribulation is a definite period of suffering sent from God upon the earth at the end. Reading it verbatim. This period of suffering will be unlike any other period in the past or future. Right. So temptation is a trial that you're going through, but what does it do? It prepares you for something greater. Prepares you spiritually. And that's for the tribulation. And what is the great tribulation? We always prophesy. One of the main things we prophesy today is the RFID chip, martial law, Jacob trouble, which is all intertwined together. Okay, now let me give you 2 scriptures on that. Now, the first scripture is Daniel chapter 12. It's Daniel chapter 12. That. There it is, Daniel. Chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. And at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stand for the children of thy people. And Michael's one of the chief angels, but he's not higher than Mashiach Yahushua. Okay? For the children of thy people. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stands for the children of thy people, which is Israel, the elect out of Israel. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at the time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And this is talking about in the kingdom. But I want to focus on verse 1. Daniel 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stand for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. Now let's look up that word trouble in the Old Testament. So bear with me, the word trouble. Okay, so let's go to that. Daniel 12 and 2 in the blue letter. Daniel chapter 12. Verse 2. Now let's get that. No, let's do 12:1 first. That's the word. Alright? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, we're gonna look up the word trouble. Here it is. Okay, the word trouble.
Strong's H, 6869. Sarah. Sarah.
Sarah. Okay? And what does it mean? It means straight distress, trouble. Okay? Straight distress, trouble. It also means distress, affliction. Because during that time of martial law, during that time, if you don't take that RFID chip, it's going to be what? Great tribulation for you. You could get your head cut off. They're gonna start putting a lot of family members to death. That's gonna be a time of testing your faith. You know, that's why it says that it never was done before in the future, and it was never done in the past, and it was never done. The world never seen this before like this great tribulation, which, like I said before, which is linked up all in one. All right. So now we're gonna go to Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. We're going to read that. That's the precept to that. Matthew chapter 24. And it's going to be verse 21. And it reads, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be." Look what it, see? You know what I'm saying? That's self-explanatory. But now let's look at that. Let's look at that. Matthew 24:21. Matthew 24:21. Okay. Tribulation. Let's look up that word. Tribulation. Okay. No, give me 1 second. Bear with me. Matthew 21:21. Okay. This should be okay. Tribulation. Here we go. Yeah, this is in the Greek, tribulation.
Strong's G, 2347. Thlipsis. Thlipsis.
Threespis. All right, so in that word tribulation, it goes into oppression, affliction, distress, straits. Okay? So that's what that means. You know? So now when we read that, Matthew 24:21, and it reads, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, nor ever shall be." All right. So, and it also means, like I said, anguish, persecution, to be afflicted. All right. So, temptation is gonna, when you're getting tried by temptation, you're gonna go through. It's testing your faith. You know what I'm saying? It's testing your faith for something that's going to come later down the line. That's even more to put you to make you uncomfortable. In other words, all right. So that's what that is. And then you have Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 6. And it reads, 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 6. "There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. That reminds me of the elect. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how should he receive this inheritance right? So the temptation that we use, the word temptation we broke down, and the word tribulation. The temptation is a trial. You go through trials. And then when the tribulation comes, the temptation, the things that you went through will help you get past those heavy tribulations, which really are the same thing. All right? Same, meaning the same word. And it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, verse 10, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also Israel's proportion, because for their sakes I made the world. So the elect of Israel is going to be able to go through these trials and these temptations and this tribulation, because through the word, right? So that's what that was. But hold on, I wanted to give you something else to add on to that I looked up. Tribulation. I looked it up before, can't find it, but tribulation. Actually 24, 21. Great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of before. So, in other words, that tribulation, temptation, these trials that you go through, if you don't go through it, how would it build you up? You know, if you never face none of these challenges, how would it build you up? So, I just gave you Daniel 12, verse 1 and 2, Matthew 24, verse 21, and 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 6 through 10. All right? So, I hope you was edified on that. Brother Shema. Shalom.